Listen, yeah, you fucking frog-eating bastards. Yeah, I would not trust my kids around MMA Joey. What are a few things you think the UFC needs to change to improve the quality of their content? Give the winners of the blobs to Belal, JDM versus Sean Brady for the title? Yes. Thank you for the $10. A few things the UFC need to improve. The quality of their content. Less fights. Less women's fights. Activity incentive bonuses. Finishing bonuses in general rather than performance bonuses. You should know if you get a finish, you're going to get a bonus over people that don't. You know? You don't want to be in this situation where fighters don't know if they're going to get the 50k and they've got a head kick KO. Because there's so many other good knockouts on the card. You know? So I would take away the 50k performance bonuses and I would do like 20k finishing bonuses. Thank you for the 10. Just some ideas. Leon going to take another year off. He better not. No, he needs to get back in there as soon as possible because he needs to shuck off the embarrassment that was that performance. Activity is always the best thing whenever you get embarrassed like that, you know. Because otherwise you just dwell on it. I was just speaking to Jordan Vucenic about this. We were talking about that. Activity is normally best. You got to move on from what just happened. If you dwell on it, you're cooked. You know what I mean? How would a prime Shavkat do in today's UFC? He's in the UFC now in his prime, you fucking fool. You absolute loser of a thing, you. You moron, you. Is Dylan Dennis beating Tony? I think he is. He's got like 20, 30 pounds on him. People don't get that. Dylan like cut to 180 before. So, he's pretty big. I think he'll be able to take him down and sub him with the right training. JDM sleeps Belal. Brady ragdolls Belal. JDM sleeps Brady. I don't know. I think Brady's probably got a better chance of finishing JDM than Belal has. That's not even a hot take. Brady's just a better finisher, even though he was finished by Belal. Nothing makes sense anymore. They killed James Bond in the last movie. I'm hurt. Oh, you just ruined it. I wasn't going to watch it anyway, but thanks, man. Who's higher on the GOAT list? Henry Cejudo or DC? DC's less tarnished. DC. Yeah. I know that Cejudo has a win over DJ and Dillashaw, which is actually really impressive, to be honest with you, but DC's got a list of better accomplishments. But then again, Cejudo does have Cruz. I just feel like there's an asterisk next to every one of his wins. He didn't beat DJ. Cruz was on short notice, and it's different Cruz. But it's actually an interesting conundrum. It's a tough spot. They're probably right next to each other in the GOAT list, but I would say DC. Stipe win, but that's an asterisk. But it's a Stipe win at the time that he got it. Double champ status on the line. Fought him in his weight class. That's like if Cejudo fought Dillashaw at bantamweight and beat him. And he beat Rumble. He beat Ozdemir's a solid win. I think Ozdemir's an underrated win. Not great though. Gustafsson, Rumble twice. Roy Nelson, Dan Henderson, Anderson Silva. I know very short notice, but that's a very good win at the time that he got it. That was before the complete slide of Anderson Silva. Antonio Silva, Bigfoot Silva, Josh Barnett was a former heavyweight champion in the UFC. I'm just trying to think of who DC has chucked in the fucking air brutally. There's a lot. Derek Lewis is a good win. There you go. Derek Lewis. There you go. How do you feel about DC's nipple covers in the UFC promos? Fucking humiliation ritual. Blatant as for the world to see. Disgusting. And you know what it is? Acting up in front of the Huz. Let's be real, chat. DC acts up in front of Laura Sanko. There I said it, dude. That's a fact. DC absolutely acts up in front of Laura Sanko. Different energy comes out of him in front of her. Completely different energy. Which current heavyweights would beat current heavyweight Jones? Which current heavyweights would beat current heavyweight Jones? Tom Aspinall. And that's why he won't fucking fight him. And you know what? I think Volkov would have a solid chance as well. Unironically, I think Volkov's a dark horse of the division. I'd even worry for Aspinall in a rematch against Volkov. Weird as that sounds. He is weirdly good. And he beat Cyril Gane's ass. And I don't know why they fucking gave it to Cyril Gane. Pisses me off. For fuck's sake. It's a fucking joke of a thing at the end of the day, Louis. You know what I mean? Fucking joke. Shamil Gaziev. Also Shamil Gaziev. Yeah, you got to take him into consideration here, of course. Almeida too. I don't know if Jailton Almeida beats him. The Shamil Gaziev, yeah. DC wants to fuck Lorisenko so bad it's uncomfortable. True. Some Leon fans still going strong. Well, there you go. Mario Rios hasn't stopped. I thought it'd be funny if Mario Rios did a video glazing Sean Brady's physique. That was a missed opportunity from him. Dude, Leon has the most aesthetic physique. Good trash talk, kinda. He was trashing Belal. But has boring fights. Has good striking, just doesn't let it go. But that means he doesn't have good striking. If you can only have good striking when you let someone completely outland you and back you up the entire time and never put your foot down and push forward, then you don't have good striking. You just have very pretty strikes. Doesn't really equate good striking. We saw that with Adesanya in the Strickland fight as well. Good striking is something that you can enforce on someone. You know what I mean? If you can't enforce your striking, it's not good. It doesn't matter what it looks like. DDP, for example. Can you enforce your striking in a fight? He can, even if it don't look pretty. I was on Embedded once. I was. They recorded me for Embedded and then they did their research and they just never posted the clips. But they did put me on Embedded. President Connor banning but it never got posted. I showed you it in the vlog. Embedded recorded me, but they never fucking posted. I'm glad they didn't as well. They look like shit. I hadn't slept in 2 days. President Connor banning Indians from Ireland and SAR. Rivers have got enough peel, yeah? Kane's victim, 2 to 3 decades in prison, then forget. Okay, true. But not forget. Never forget. Thoughts on RG3 calling you out on his podcast with Dustin Poirier?
You can become famous like that. But I also think it hurts. You're an expert at what you do. But if I've got 2 million followers on Twitter and I decide, you know what, I'm going to be the MMA guru, I can influence my audience to make them think I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to mixed martial arts, even if I haven't really been in it like you have. That, to me, is where some of the credibility is lacking, and it makes it a fashion show. All you have to do is garner a following, and you can do whatever you want.
It makes it easy to be something you're not, for sure.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. That's Instagram models for you.
Exactly. You know, it's just highlights of life. That's not everyday life.
Right.
But also, it's a great tool to spread information and to speak openly. And, you know, it is good for some things, you know, but that, like when it's changing the culture where these kids are making millions of dollars and they're 18 years old or OnlyFans and all this stuff like that. I mean, it's just, the trades are going to die. Who's going to be plumbers? Who's going to be doctors? Who's going to, you know, who's going to get their hands dirty?
Correct.
I saw that, yeah. I don't care. Thank you for the $2. DP kind of like accidentally defended me there as well. I don't even know if it was actually him mentioning me. But he did say, you know, some MMA guru type person. Which could have been he probably was referencing me. But I don't know if he was for sure. Because you can sort like NBA. I don't know. Maybe he was directly referencing me. But yeah, he trying to baited Poirier to insult me. You know what I'm saying? You should go to Jones versus Aspinall. No, I've got to be there for a fight companion. This is why I don't take instructions from retards like you. No offense. Chat, yes or no? I can't not do a fight companion for Jones Aspinall. Are you done? Go to Jones versus Aspinall. What, and sit in the crowd and don't stream a fight companion? Are you mad? I've got to do the fight companion. I have to do the fight companion. It's a historic moment. I'm not just going to avoid giving my live reaction to it. The fuck? Maybe fight week. That's a different argument. Impression of Strickland's speech coach for Moraes. Here's a fucking thing, man. You gotta fucking smoke a couple cigarettes, man. Let me just fucking elbow chop you in the fucking throat. Would you ever see UFC live? Thoughts on Ilya's nickname? Little gay, to be honest with you. Ilya's doing some soy shit right now. Little bro's getting a little too ahead of himself. I could see a massive, massive humbling at lightweight ahead of him. It just feels right. But thank you for the $2. Thoughts on it? Would I ever see the UFC live? I would when I'm older, yeah. But I'm in my 20s, man. I got things to do. Does Hamzat beat DDP? No, he doesn't. No, he fucking doesn't, dude. Sean Brady made easier work of Gilbert Burns than Hamzat Chimaev. There, I said it! Leon Edwards made easier work of Usman than Hamzat Chimaev, and Usman took it on a week's notice. There, I said it! Whitaker, Chimaev, frauds. Same with Adesanya. That's what we found out over the past few years. That's what we've done. That's what we found out. Absolutely true. To the T. Adesanya, that whole era. Frauds. Usman, Adesanya, Whitaker, Covington. There are a lot of them. Frauds. Nothing but them. DDP is going to beat him. I actually do think DDP beats him as well. Please, Guru, don't let this year end with Chimaev, Ankalaev, and Jones champions. Don't worry, dude. Good will vanquish evil. Because that's the way it works. And God exists. Thank you for the $3 Australian. Did you see what Lucas Tracy said about the Yan fight? Someone told me that... I don't remember what he said. Someone told me that it was negative about Jan Blachowicz. I don't know. Impression of Marab and Leon talking about... Sometimes when someone's getting glazed, someone has to go against it, I feel like. I thought Jan won. First and third. I've watched it back. I was watching back Shane Burgos fights this morning as well. And he should be re-signed to the UFC immediately. There's only one boring fight he's ever had, and that's Charles Jourdain fight. And even that was fun. But it wasn't like crazy. Like a crazy war. Impression of Marab and Leon talking about how fat DC is. Brother, I tell you, he tried to eat me. I promise. I walk through the PI and he take a chomp. A hungry hippo, you know. Blah! He took my fucking hand off. I tried to feed him a carrot. Thank you very much for the $5. I asked already, but impression of Mixed Molly Whoppery talking about Bryce Mitchell's situation. Also, quick thoughts on Urseg versus Moreno and Piper versus Kelvin. All right, doubling up for fucking Canadian currency. Bryce Mitchell thinks Hitler was a good guy. And this was at a time when he hadn't even started taking meth. Thank you for the $5 Canadian. Also, quick thoughts on Urseg versus Moreno. I've got Moreno and I've got Piper. Impression of Jones's wife after burning the breakfast eggs. Oh, God. Kids, just close your eyes and cover your ears. He'll be all right. Do you believe in Alex fought? No, I don't know if he fought with a broken hand. Did you watched Tom Aspinall and Logan Paul's podcast? No, I didn't listen to a single fucking bit of it. I'll be honest with you. I did not listen to a single bit. I got the gist of the start of it, and then I just thought, nah. I ain't watching this. Even Tom Aspinall ain't enough to make me sit through it. Hello, Musical. Thank you for the $2. But I'm glad that he's on there and getting a spotlight, like he's finally reaching that stardom. You know? Just saw people say Islam would beat Piper in a fight, like, bro, he's getting slept by a glancing punch from the Salt King. I know, dude. Piper would absolutely fucking flatline him. I know, I saw the comments on Impulsive. They're mentioning me in the comments, which is pretty interesting. The top comment, other than Tom Aspinall's comment, is no fucking way Guru is going to be yapping for an hour about this pod. That's crazy to me. That is crazy. That is the most liked comment outside of Tom Aspinall's comment. 100% will probably drop in the morning. He's going to say Logan's actually based. I mean, did he mention me on the pod then? Why are people talking about that? Did they mention me on there? Or I don't know if they mentioned me on there. No, they didn't. Oh, okay, well, they're just mentioning me anyway. That's even crazier. I thought the way that people are talking in the comments is like it's like they even discussed me on the pod, but no. Never mind. They did not. Okay, well, the way the comments were saying, I was like, oh, they must have spoke about me or something. I ain't going to make a fucking video just because he went on now. You know what I mean? Le Guru de MMA has got it up, but it's got no views in 13 minutes, so he's not really one of the big dogs, you know?